Fishing is a popular outdoor activity that can be enjoyed by people of all ages. Here are some basic steps to get started with fishing. 1. Obtain a fishing license. In most places, you will need a valid fishing license before you can start fishing. You can typically purchase one from a local bait and tackle shop or online too. Get the right gear. You will need a fishing rod and reel, fishing line, hooks, and bait or lures. You can purchase or rent gear from a local fishing store or online. 3. Choose a fishing spot. Look for a body of water that is known to have fish, such as a lake, river, or stream. You can also ask locals or check online for information on the best fishing spots in your area. 4. Prepare your equipment. Tie your hook or lure to the end of your fishing line and attach it to your reel. Make sure your fishing rod is properly assembled and in good condition. 5. Cast your line. Hold your fishing rod with both hands and use a smooth, sweeping motion to cast your line out into the water. 6. Wait for a bite. Once your line is in the water, wait patiently for a fish to bite. You may need to adjust your bait or lure if you aren't getting any bites. 7. Reel in your catch. Once you feel a fish biting, reel in your line slowly and steadily, being careful not to let the fish get away. 8. Release the fish. If you're not planning to keep the fish, gently release it back into the water. Please note that fishing regulations and laws vary by location, so be sure to check the rules and regulations in your area before you start fishing. Fishing is a popular recreational activity that can be done in various bodies of water. To get started with fishing, you will need to gather some basic equipment, such as a fishing rod, reel, and fishing line. You will also need to purchase or obtain fishing bait or lures. Once you have all of your equipment, you can choose a body of water to fish in, such as a lake, river, or stream. Here are some general steps to follow when fishing. 1. Choose a spot. Look for areas where the water is deeper, where there is a current, or where there is an underwater structure such as a drop-off or weed bed. 2. Cast your line. Hold your fishing rod with both hands and use your dominant hand to guide the fishing line. Swing the rod back and forth to cast the line out into the water. 3. Wait for a bite. Once the line is in the water, wait for a fish to bite. You'll feel a tug on the line when a fish bites. 4. Reel in the fish. When you feel a tug, quickly reel in the slack line and set the hook by pulling back on the rod. Keep a steady tension on the line as you reel in the fish. 5. Release the fish. If you catch a fish, remove the hook carefully and release the fish back into the water. It is important to check the local fishing regulations before starting to fish, including obtaining a fishing license if required and respecting any size and bag limits. Fishing is a popular recreational activity that can be done in a variety of settings, such as freshwater lakes and rivers, saltwater bays and ocean, and even in urban areas with fishing ponds. Here are some basic steps to get started with fishing. 1. Obtain a fishing license. Depending on where you live, you may need to purchase a fishing license before you can legally fish. 2. Choose the right gear. You will need a rod, reel, and fishing line, as well as a variety of hooks, lures, and baits. 3. Learn about the fish you're targeting. Different fish species have different habits and preferences, so it's important to know what type of fish you're trying to catch and what kind of bait or lure to use for. Find a good fishing spot. Look for areas where fish are likely to congregate, such as near drop-offs, weed beds, or around underwater structure. 5. Cast your line. Hold the rod with both hands and use your dominant hand to hold the reel. Release the line with your other hand while making a smooth, fluid motion to cast your line. 6. Reel in your catch. Once a fish bites, reel in the slack line and set the hook by pulling back on the rod. 7. Practice catch and release. It is a good practice to release the fish back into the water if you are not going to keep it. Keep in mind that fishing is subject to local laws, regulations, and rules of the water body you are fishing in. You should check them before starting fishing.